You guys, I'm Sandra D, the main event, and welcome to my channel. And we are continuing this journey about talking about the narcissist. So we are not covering hair today, and we are not covering or talking about food, okay? We are talking about the narcissist. Now, before I get started, I just wanted to thank each and every one of you guys who came and subscribed on my channel to receive that knowledge that you needed to be able to have victory in regards to your circumstance, because knowledge is power when it is applied. The next thing I wanted to say is thank you guys so much for the comments, but more importantly, thank you for you guys who are out there who shared your experiences of what you dealt with and what you went through while dealing with a narcissist. So I love the comments. I love that you are sharing, because sharing is caring. Thank you guys so very much for the support and for the love. And I wanted to get into the video of the day. So I wanted to make sure that I wrote down the person's tag name, and the tag name is In His Service. In His Service had a very good comment and wanted me to come and do a video in regards to smear campaigns. Okay, so we're going to talk about smear campaigns. Now, I do want to let you guys know that there are some beeping noise in the background. I cannot tell you if it's going to go throughout the whole video, but I hope that it's not too much of a distraction, because I'm not here to allow the enemy to stop me from bringing forth the message to the people. You heard me? All right, so let's get into today's topic, the smear campaign. Now, before we get into the smear campaign, I need you guys to understand how the smear campaign comes into play. Now, we're going to have to do a little recap. Now, you remember that when I told you guys about that love bombing stage, but what I call it is the interview. Okay, so what they did was they interviewed you. Okay, so what they do is they find out all the good attributes that you bring to the table. Because remember, I told you, you're destined for greatness. And they wanted to see how they can get a transaction from you, so to speak. Okay, whether it was money, whether it was some type of service, whether it was some nurturing, they needed to get supply from you, because remember, they need supply to meet their own personal demands in their own personal life. So when you went through the love bombing stage, aka the interview, they asked you a whole lot of questions. Okay, because they asking you these questions because they're getting intel. They're getting details about how you operate, how you function, how you move, what makes you tick. Okay, so they're going to take notes of the good attributes and also those things that they know that could trigger you. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how this comes into play. So now in your interview, in the love bombing stage, they're getting the good intel because they want to fill in the blanks of what you haven't been getting in past relationships to fill that role. Now, they're filling this role because they want to become everything that your heart desires. Okay, so when they're giving you these heart's desires, this is how they're beginning to make their strategy, beginning to make their plan, because they know they're not going to be able to maintain everything it is that you desire, because that's not who they are in the first place. Okay, but they have to be able to mask this and show you that they're the hero, so that you won't recognize that they're actually the villain. Okay, so now what's going on in this stage is they can calculate and know very well how long they're going to be able to scam you. They know very well, because they're pros at this. You're not. Okay, so they know how long they're going to play this game, or how long they want to play this game before either A, they get bored, 2, they get caught, or 3, they think the grass is greener on the other side and don't want to, kick it with you or be with you anymore. Okay, so what they're going to do with that intel, they're going to gather all that good stuff, okay? But then they want to get to that stuff that triggers you. What ticks you off? What piss you off? What makes you mad? Because remember, they want to poke the bear. You know what I'm saying? So that they can trigger those emotions. Okay. So now when the smear campaign actually comes into play is when they decided in their mind, how am I going to be able to exit out of this relationship to where when I exit, and if I decide to come back, that one, they're going to accept me, and two, they're going to blame themselves for the whole thing that went down and let me off the hook. Okay. This is what they do. Okay. It's called shift blame. So the discard is the shift blame as a way for them to exit the relationship. Okay. So that they could come out smelling like roses and make you look like the bad guy. So what they do during the devouring stage, this is when it actually starts to begin to happen, because you done smelled something that didn't smell right. You was like, this don't add up and it don't make sense, because a narcissist, they don't like to be questioned. Okay. They want you to be like one of the persons, and I'm sorry, I don't know if it was a male or a female, please forgive me for that made a comment and said, it's like the narcissist wants you to be a robot. And you are correct. It's exactly what they want. Have you seen that movie, Stepford Wives? Okay. Not the real old school one that's in black and white, but the one with Beth Midler, when she was in there, and with Nicole Kidman. If you guys haven't seen that, I recommend that you see it. So what wind up happening in the Stepford Wives is that it was a group of men who wanted to have a certain kind of woman. And what they did was they brought the women up into this community to try to figure out how they were going to be able to get all the things that they wanted. Okay. And that's pretty much what you can expect from a narcissist. Okay. So in the Stepford Wives, they were brainwashed. Okay. And that's exactly what the narcissist would do to you. They tend to brainwash you. Okay. Thinking that they're this loving, wonderful, good person. And they're not. Okay. So what winds up happening is during the during the devaluing stage, you're starting to see that the light bulb is starting to go off. Okay. You're starting to put 2 and 2 together, and that it makes 4, but with the narcissist, he'll say it's 5. But that's not true. Okay. So what's going on during this stage is they already are calculating on how they're going to make their strategy plan to exit. So, when you bring them around your family and your friends, and you bring them into that inner circle, they're already checking to see who they're going to be able to try to pull on their side, or give them an explanation on why they had to exit. Okay. So now this is how it goes. They're going to start like a rumor. And the rumor is not going to be true. Okay. Sometimes it is, but it's altered. Okay. Now let me tell you what I mean by this. Let's say it was your birthday. You turned up, you let your hair down, and maybe you had way too much to drink, but you wasn't violent. You wasn't, fighting or anything in that nature. You was just having a good time, but you was stumbling and everything in that nature. So what the narcissist would do, they'll go around and take a little bit of that little truth, but then they'll turn it into a whole different scenario, starting a rumor, if you will. So what winds up happening is they're going to say, she drinks too much, and, I'm really concerned, and, they'll sit over there and lie and say that you did something to them that you didn't do. But what they will do is say these things, but it wasn't that something that you did to them. It was what you did. It's what they did to you. Okay. So what winds up happening is, when they're poking the bear, they got to try to make their rumor true to form. Okay, so what they're doing is they're making sure that that personal intel, that tea you spilled to them, and letting them know what makes you tick and what you don't like. So they know this. So now they're going to take that bit of information and then they're going to use it against you by using certain tools to poke the bear, to get you into an emotional state, to get you to set it off. Okay, to get you to go there. You know, when somebody pushing your buttons and you be like, oh, you don't know who the hell you talking to? I'll set it off up in here. That's exactly what the narcissist wants you to do. This is why they make sure they poke the bear. Okay, and then while they're doing this, and they know that they're putting you in a bad light to set themselves up to look like they, like they're the good guy. They already got another supply, okay, that they're going around with. So if that narcissist sat over there and did a disappearance act like Houdini, like now you see me, now you don't, and then you going off and saying, where the hell you at? Why the hell you ain't contact me? What's going on, this, that, and the other? Now they'll go to their new supply and be like, you see what I'm dealing with? You see what's going on? This is why I had to leave the relationship in the first place. Now, you have no idea that this is going on. You have no idea that they setting rumors, because that is exactly what a smear campaign is. It's a rumor, but it's also a way to smear your good reputation, because they want to put you in a bad light so that they can be in a good light, to seem like they're the good person and that you were the reason why the relationship ended in the first place, knowing that that ain't even true. And this is why you're hurt. Part of the reason why you're hurting. Part of the reason why you're grieving, because you recognize and realize that you allow someone in your life, in your home, around your family, around your friends that you trusted, and you found out that they was a snake. You found out that they wasn't even who they said that they were. And you found out that you was conned, that you was lied to, that they was an opportunist, and that they took advantage of your kindness. Okay, you're feeling all of these things, and part of the time you feeling embarrassed, you feeling ashamed, you may even feel a little stupid, because you're like, how the hell did I let this happen? But I need to let you know, and I need for y'all to understand and hear me now. That was not your fault. It was not your fault that you was kind, because they're good at what they do. Okay? What I will say that is partly your responsibility is that you didn't stop them from being able to treat you as a king or a queen that you are. Okay? That part is the part where you are responsible for. Okay? But I don't want you to take that as in it's all my fault. No. Because it's not. It absolutely is not all your fault. But you do have to take a look within to find out what was it that why did you allow for it to continue the way that it did? Now, don't get me wrong. Narcissists, they'll try to intimidate you. Yes, they'll make you feel like you walking on eggshells. And half of the time, you probably stayed in a relationship and did all the things that you did because you was hoping that that same person you met in the love bombing stage was going to come back. But you got to remember, when I told you, when they mirrored you, the person that they showed you was already somebody you already knew. You. They confirmed to you already how valuable and precious that you are. And even though you did know this, you didn't recognize it to a certain extent. Okay? And that narcissist just came to confirm to you on how wonderful and beautiful and great that you are. That's why they couldn't hold up the persona, because they could never be you. They could mirror you, but how long that's going to last? You ever heard of somebody when you was in school and you had that one student that didn't do their homework and they was trying to copy you and get answers and they didn't take the time to do their homework? And then in the end, they wind up getting caught and busted. Same thing and the same principle with a narcissist. Okay? Same exact thing. And you probably had people that was telling you, hey, I feel like something about the person that you with ain't clicking, ain't right. And you probably brushed it off and said, no, girl, they cool. It's all dude, it's all right. But your friends will be able to see something that you don't see because you too close and they're on the outside looking in. Okay? Because a true friend is going to tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. But you will respect and honor someone that's going to be real with you. Okay? You remember when you was a kid and you would hang around certain kids and you'll bring them over to the house and your mama will tell you you don't need to hang out with them. And then you be like, oh, mom, come on, they cool. And your mama say, no, you don't need to be around them. Something ain't right, baby. And then you find out, well, what your mama told you is true. Same principle. Your friends is going to tell you the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help you God when you have a real friend. I mean, the real ones, not the ones that's trying to take advantage of you, but the ones who got your back for real, for real. I mean, they been with you through the ups, through the downs, from the side to side, child. Okay. They got down with you and did the Tootsie Roll. Do you get what I'm saying? You call them up. It don't matter what time of day it is. They there. That's your partner. Okay, the one that you can trust. Now, what you also need to understand is during the smear campaign, even though they have all this information about you, and then you go through that discard stage and you cut all communications off with them, they're going to come back. Because you got to remember, they got to see how they can get you back into their game that they're playing with you. So when they're playing this game with the smear campaign, they're creating reasonable doubt. Not the type of reasonable doubt to get you to doubt about yourself, but to get those that are the people that the narcissist wants on their side to get to see you in a different light. Because they know what makes you tick. All they doing is sprinkling a little bit more of the lie on top of it to make it sound all good. It's just like one of the comments that I read with, I don't know if it was a young lady or a young man that said, I can't believe how these people will sit over here and believe a lie. Believe it. Okay? Because they're professionals. Now, I hope that this answers some questions in regards to the smear campaign. I hope that you guys will have an amazing day and a wonderful weekend. Okay? And remember, you are destined for greatness and don't let nobody tell you differently. All right, you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.